Hello there, it's Ellie here, and in this video I am going to show you how to create a profitable Neobux account, and I'm going to include both the free and paid methods for building the account in this video. As always, I have added my referral link just below the video should you require that to join any of the sites I mention, and I also have added the link to my blog and my Facebook groups. And if you have enjoyed this video, then do consider subscribing to the channel, and also if you wouldn't mind giving the video a little like and maybe even a little share, then that always helps me to provide the information to a lot more people who are trying to earn online. So I very much appreciate when you do that. Thanks in advance if you do. So let's get on now and talk about Neobux. Just before I start talking about the site and explaining how to use it, I thought I would just show you my personal earnings on the site today, and my earning amount is currently $2,675.96. If you don't know already, Neobux is a PTC site, which means pay to click. However, it does have several additional earning options on the site as well. And the site itself, Neobux, has been around now for over 10 years, and it's one of the most well-known PTC sites available. However, I think it's also one of the least understood PTC sites, and I know that some people find it quite difficult to actually create a profitable account on Neobux, so that's why I'm doing this video. Let me start with the basics then, and that is basically the view advertisements section. And as you can see just at the top here, there is a little coloured blob or circle there with a 1 in it, which means that there are currently 1 paid ads available on my account. And that's because I have already done all of my ad clicks. You can see all of the boxes here, all the greyed out ones with the little ticks. Those are all adverts that I have already clicked on. And if you're going to use Neobux, I highly recommend that you do actually click all of the ads. The top ones here are the ones that are going to be they're going to pay you a small amount. For example, this one that's available right now will pay me 0.001 plus pack. So I'm going to explain that in a second. Let me first of all show you how to do the ad click. So you're just clicking on the bar. You can see here it pops up with a little icon. It's just a few weeks to Christmas as I'm doing this video, so you can see it's like a little Christmas icon here, a little Christmas present. So you're just clicking on that, and whenever you've clicked on it, what happens is you will see the timer starts counting down, and it's the O on the Neobux is the timer. And then you will see, once it's completed, the tick appears, the advertisement validated message appears, and it'll tell you the amount that has actually been credited to your account. After you have done the ad clicks, then you will see that the number that was appearing before has now changed, and it's showing the letters AP. And that is basically to tell you that there is an ad prize advert available for you to click on. So let me show you now how the ad prize option actually works. And as you saw, I've just clicked on 1 advert, and that means then that I have 4 chances on the ad prize option. So it's basically 4 chances that I have to win a prize. So I just click on the number, and it works in exactly the same way. You can see that the Neobux sign comes up and the timer goes down. This time, instead of saying that you have credited a certain amount, it tells me that I haven't won anything. So as you're clicking on the add prize, I currently have 4 chances to actually win. So all I'm doing is clicking on the next button, allowing the timer to go down and checking to see if I have actually won anything. So that's all of my add prize chances completed, and sadly I didn't win anything this time. However, I have won various things in the past. I have won a golden membership, which the value of it is about $80, and I have also won a $10 prize. I've won a $1 prize. I've won 50 cents various times, and I've won lots and lots of points. Now there are additional prizes as well. I think the highest cash prize is, I think it's either $100 or $50. I think it might be $50. Is the highest cash prize that you can win. But yeah, it's just, you know, luck of the draw, and you just have to do your ad prizes then to see if you actually win. Now, in addition to doing the ad clicks, to build up your account or to earn cash, there are the different options here as well. So the next one on the list is mini jobs, and for this one then you do actually need to register for a figure 8 account, and there is a little tour and everything here that you can do. And if I just show you here, it'll tell you, you know, about the different levels and the different amounts that you get paid per task, the number of tasks that are available, and the rating for the task as well. You do build up your level badges. So if you're starting off as new, then you start at level 0, and the higher you work up on the different levels, then the more you will earn. Now it does take a lot of accuracy then to build up your account to the higher levels, and you know, it's one of those things that some people love these jobs, some people hate them. Personally, I just don't really do them very often. I have done them a few times, but you're just clicking on the job title, and it will explain exactly what you need to do to actually complete the task. Surveys is the next paid option here, and as you can see here, there are various payments available. Currently $3.87 is one of the highest payment amounts. There are quite a lot of surveys available on Neobux, and I know that the surveys especially can work in quite a lot of countries, so those are worth trying if you are struggling to find any of these ones. I have personally done quite a lot of surveys on Neobux, and of course, like you can use Neobux just as a survey account if you choose to. I think it has a lot more potential than a survey site, and I'm going to explain that shortly. But one of the other options that I quite enjoy doing is getting paid to play games. Now you don't earn an awful lot. As you can see here, you win or you earn 0.001 per game session. However, there are quite a lot of games available, and if you're the type of person who enjoys doing the little free games on like Facebook or whatever, then I would suggest that, you know, why not do it on Neobux instead, and you can actually get paid. So these are all the different games that are available. There are quite a list, as you can see, and you know, I do have some favourites. At the minute, I'm quite addicted to 10 by 10, which is a bit like a Tetris game, and I love Landing Party as well, and Trizzle. Oh. Yeah, there's lots of different ones, and as I said, if you enjoy playing games, it's mostly all the little sort of casual games that you can play on here, but you might as well do that to actually earn some cash. There are offers available as well on Neobux, and on this particular tab, the offer tab itself, you will see that there just has the jungle offer wall, and to work on this, then you're just completing a fun quiz, and they are quite fun. They do make me laugh quite a lot, to be honest with you. Each quiz has between 10 to 25 easy questions, and you know it can be completed within a minute or two for each quiz. So yeah, they are quite fun, I must admit. The coins offers then are the other option available, and there are multiple offer sites or offer tabs that are available in here. This one, for example, is AdSend Media, and on each offer wall then you will see that there's all sorts of different options. For example, this one, if you play the super free slot games, then you can get 200 coins. For this one, you can get 2,587 coins. Now, I do just want to highlight, if I just move this down a little bit, coins are credited to your account 60 days after the offer is validated. And that is basically just because it can take time for the offer wall to actually pay out. So the offer walls themselves are not run by Neobux. These are all external companies. So it means if there's any problem or anything with your with the offer not crediting or anything like that, then it's you need to contact the support for each individual wall. So Offertoro is a wall that I personally use quite often. I use the one-click offers on here quite a lot, and you will then build up your coins balance by doing that, and as it says, it'll take 60 days for those to actually credit to your account. Now, in my opinion, one of the best things about Neobux is the fact that it offers what is called rented referrals. Now you can see here that there are two different types of referrals on Neobux. Direct referrals are people who have just used your referral link to actually join the site, and they are automatically then added to your account. Rented referrals, on the other hand, are people who have joined the site but have not actually used a referral link. So that means that they're not sort of allocated to a particular person's team. What happens on Neobux then is if there are people who are not allocated to a team, then they are provided as an option for you to actually rent. So you can build a very, very big team on Neobux through using the rented referral option. And as you can see here, I currently have 980 rented referrals and just 14 direct referrals. But that, that in total means that I have a team of almost 1,000 people. So I am currently earning from almost 1,000 people on my Neobux account. Okay, so let's talk about profit then. On Neobux, one of the most difficult things is to actually get your account created properly so that you are reducing the costs and making a higher profit. Now, if you do not manage your account properly, then the issue is you end up with a lot of costs and very little profit. So it's exactly the same with any business. You have to learn how to actually manage it so that you are reducing your costs and maximizing your profit. So let's talk about how to do that on Neobux. On Neobux, there are three main costs that you need to take into account whenever you are adding rented referrals to your account. There is the initial rental cost, which is 20 cents per rented referral, and that 20 cents will add the person to your account for a period of 30 days. On Neobux, there is a minimum of 3 rented referrals, available. So you can't add one at a time to your account. You need to add a minimum of 3, which means that your initial costs are going to be a minimum of 60 cents to add 3 rented referrals to your account for a period of 30 days. Now, in addition to those initial costs, if you actually want to keep the rented referral, then you are going to actually need to extend the rental period, and there is an extending cost associated with that, which I will talk to you about in a minute. There are also then recycling costs, which are basically for if you want to swap one rented referral for a new one, then you will have to pay what's called a recycling cost. Now, as I said on Neobux, just like with any other business, you need to work on creating a balance between the cost and the profit for your account. And sadly, with Neobux, most people get it wrong. From doing quite a lot of research into this, I have found really that there are 2 main things that people do wrong. And the first one is recycling too much, and the second one is not extending profitably. Actually, I'm going to add a third one to that. This one is probably the most important one, and where people go wrong all the time is by not being patient enough. Now, there are all kinds of ways to actually use your Neobux account. However, these are the steps that I personally suggest, and I think you will find they work very, very well as long as you follow them. So, step number 1 is to create a balance of at least $5 before you start actually renting. Now, there are various ways that you can do that. You can do it with ad clicks. If you simply do the ad clicks and nothing else, it is going to take you quite a bit of time to actually create a balance of $5. However, it is quite possible to do it. Another way is to use the on-site earning options, such as doing the surveys, doing the offers, or playing the games, or the mini jobs. The third option then, of course, is that you actually make a deposit into your Neobux account, and I would suggest, if you're going to do that, that you start with at least depositing $5. Step number 2 then is to rent 3 and only 3 rented referrals, and to extend those 3 by 240 days. The reason for this is if you are not extending your rented referrals by 240 days, you are going to find it very, very difficult to make your account profitable. By extending them for 240 days, you are going to get a 30% discount on the extending costs, and because you are reducing your cost, then you are increasing your profits. If you want to actually deposit money into your Neobux account, I would suggest that you work on multiples of 3. So for example, for each 3 rented referrals you have, then you need to have $5. So if you want to add $10, then you need to rent 6 referrals. If you add $15, then you can have 9 rented referrals. The most important part is that you extend those rented referrals by 240 days as soon as possible, preferably on the same day that you actually rent them into your account. When you have added some rented referrals to your account, then this is what you're going to see. You will see that they have been added to your account, and they will say when your next payment is due. That's going to be varied depending on your extending time. And then it's going to say the last click. And probably what's going to happen is that you will see no clicks, no clicks, no clicks, no clicks. But the most important thing is do not panic. The next thing that I will say is do not, do not pay to recycle any of your rented referrals. I'm just going to say that again. Do not pay to recycle any of your rented referrals. When you do this and just completely ignore the fact that some of your rented referrals are not clicking, then what will happen is that those ones who are inactive, if they have been inactive for 14 days, then the system on Neobux is going to recycle them or change them over for a new rented referral completely automatically and completely for free, as long as they have been inactive for 14 days. Now remember this image, this is why we want to work this way. The first thing is you are extending your rented referrals by 240 days, and that means that you are reducing your costs by 30% straight away. So by doing that, then you are going to enable yourself to make more profit. The second one that I have suggested is by not recycling. Now this one is a little less clear cut as to whether you're making costs or profit, and the only thing that I'm going to say is that people recycle far too much, especially whenever they first start off with a Neobux account. You know, you see referrals that are not being active, and so you recycle them as soon as you can, and then you end up with another rented referral, and then the next rented referral doesn't seem to be very active either, and so goes on the cycle. And this means that you're going to have a lot of costs for recycling, and actually, you know, you're eating into all of your profits. So that's the reason why I am going to say that you should not recycle any of your referrals. Simply allow the system to work for you. Okay, so when you add rented referrals to your account, you will find that there's all sorts of clicking patterns. You will get some people who don't do any clicking at all, so that's a 0, 0, 0, and then maybe they go in and they'll do 2 ad clicks, and then maybe they'll have another day where they're doing nothing, and then maybe a day whenever they do 6 clicks, and then maybe another couple of days when they do nothing, and then maybe a day when they have 4 clicks. You might also find a person who does a lot of clicks initially, so you know, it clicks every single day, and then maybe they start to kind of peter out a little bit. They have a few days where they don't do any clicking, and then maybe they do some clicks again after that. You will also get the person who maybe does a few clicks straight away. They have a few days where they're not doing any clicks. They might come in again and do another few clicks, and then they just peter out completely. They get to the point where they just don't even log into their account. So those would be the people that are not going to be profitable for you at all. You will also, though, get these people who don't do anything at all for several days, and then they can come in and start clicking quite consistently. Now you have no idea which pattern that you're going to get from your rented referrals unless you actually allow them time to develop and to see what's actually going to happen. Now by allowing the system to actually just recycle any of your rented referrals who have gone inactive for 14 days, what's going to happen is someone like this, for example, who has clicked a few times, but then, you know, gets to the point where they just don't even log into their account, they automatically the automatic recycle process is just going to clear them out. You know, they're going to be taken out of your account completely. So let's just take them out by the automatic recycling. Now, that person is going to be replaced by somebody different, and they could have that could be exactly the same type of pattern, or it could be one of these other ones. Now, what happens if you just allow the system to work is that you're going to get more and more of the people who are actually more active. So, you know, you might have somebody who comes in and clicks for a couple of, you know, does a couple of clicks and then does nothing for several days, and then does a couple of clicks and then nothing for several days. However, what's not going to happen is that you get a person that you have rented, and that you know, they are going to be doing no clicks at all for the whole 240 days that you have extended them. You know, the person is going to change as soon as they get to the point where they're just not actively using the account at all. So if you give it a little bit of time, then what's going to happen is you're going to get more active referrals. Okay, so what's next? First of all, let's just check that you are in the right position. So what you need to do is have at least 3 rented referrals added to your account, and you should have all of the rented referrals that you have added extended by 240 days. You also know not to do any recycling at all, and just to allow the account to recycle for you automatically. So that's all well and good. That's going to help you to actually get started on the right foot. And think of that as, you know, as providing you with a good foundation for your account on which you can start to build. So next then, we're going to start actually building the account, and this is the part there that's going to take quite a bit of time and patience. And I do want to show you just how it actually builds up, and where, you know, you can actually start to withdraw and all that kind of thing, because this is really where everybody goes wrong. Okay, so now I'm going to actually start and show you some calculations, show you how your account actually builds up, and show you when it's you know, it's suitable then for starting to withdraw, when you actually need to start extending again, and all that kind of stuff. Now, I have used some figures in this example just to try and it's very hard to explain without using figures, but the figures are just an example. I mean, I have tried to make them as realistic as possible based on my own experiences and that of other people. However, every single Neobux account is completely individual, because you know, each rented referral is an individual person, and nobody can predict how that person is going to react, or how much activity they're going to do. So as I said, I'm going to try and make it as realistic as possible, just to show you kind of how to do it. But as I said, just remember, it is just an example of the figures. Okay, so let's just start off with the basic calculations. So we've got 3 rented referrals. It's going to cost you 60 cents each time you add 3 rented referrals to your account. And you also need to take into account the extending by 240 days cost, which is $1.18 whenever you first start off using Neobux. So that means that it costs you a total of $4.14 to have 3 rented referrals extended for 240 days each. Okay, so we've already looked at the costs then. Let's have a look next at the actual earnings. So as a standard member, that means, you know, no upgrades or anything on Neobux, the completely free account. These are the different ad types that you can be provided with to click on, and these are the payment rates that you will get for each of those adverts if you click on them. Now you will not get you know, all of these ads each day. So what I've done to kind of try and make the calculation realistic is I have assumed that you'll have 8 of the fixed ads to click on, and there's 2 different types of fixed ads actually, so there'll be 8 of each of those, plus I've added 2 standard exposure ads. Now you probably will have mini exposures, micro exposures, whatever, but you know, I'm going to assume that this is pretty realistic for your own earnings. Now obviously, you know, this amount can vary, however I think it is pretty close. You know, you will have to click on all of the ads that are available, but you should be earning in the region of 0.036 per day. If you're earning more than that, then it's not going to take as much time. If you're earning less than that, then it's going to take a little bit longer. So the step 1 target, as I showed you, technically the target is $4.14, and it's going to take, at this rate, 115 days to actually earn that amount. Now this is where people lose patience. You know, and this is one of the reasons why I highly recommend that you do use some of the extra earning options that are available on Neobux, or indeed that you start off with a small amount deposited into your account. Now if you're working on the $5 target, it's going to take you 138 days then at this rate. Now, if you do, you know, you can actually earn your $5 in one day on Neobux. Like if you can do the surveys or the offers or something like that, then you will be able to earn the money a lot quicker. But this is just based on doing the ad clicks. Okay, so that's your earnings for your own ad clicks then. The second part of the calculation is actually, you know, it's a lot harder to get it quite accurate. But what I've done is these are the amounts that you will earn for the ad clicks done by your rented referrals. And of course, as I already showed you, the pattern for people doing ad clicks is not consistent. So it's very, very difficult to actually be very, very accurate with this. So what I have done is basically, now you will get paid these different amounts for the rented referral clicks, but what I have done is I have said that you're only going to get paid for the fixed ads. So I have put 0 for those ads, 0 for those ads. So you could get paid more than this. You could get paid less than this for each rented referral. You will get some who are not clicking at all on some days, and you will get other days where you'll be earning more. So you need to just think of this as an average amount, and you know, I think it is quite realistic to expect that you will receive 0.02 from as an average from each rented referral that you have on your account. The next thing that I have done then is to say, you know, if you're extending your rented referrals for 240 days, then on day number 1, then you are going to have 240 days left of that extension. On day number 2, you're going to have 239 days, etc., etc., etc. And you are going to start off with 3 rented referrals, and these are the expected earnings that you will get per day. As I said, now this is an example and it is based on averages, So your earnings will increase some days, they'll be lower some other days, but I think these are reasonably accurate figures. Just as an interesting fact, basically, just to show you, if you rented 3 referrals and those were the actual earnings that you got and you didn't do anything else, then this is the amount that you would have earned at the end of your 240 days. So you would have got $23.04 back. So, you know, that's for your $4.14 expense. So you would be in profit at that point. And I've just done one beside here as well, just to show what the amount would be if you actually had 9 rented referrals instead. And that would be, where are we? $51.84. So I just wanted to show that, you know, it is profitable to add rented referrals to your account. And as I've shown you, you know, I have taken into account here in the amount that I am assuming for each rented referral, I have taken into account days where people are not going to be active as well. So, you know, this is reasonably realistic. So it is definitely profitable to add rented referrals. The problem, and when it becomes unprofitable, is when people add too many rented referrals at once and they get into an extending situation, and also, as I said before, if they use the recycling option too often. Okay, so I don't know about you, but at the end of 240 days, then I would certainly like to see a bit more money in my account than the $20 odd or the $50 odd that I've just shown you. So of course, you're not going to have just 3 rented referrals for that whole time, or the 9, as I said there. But we're going to be adding rented referrals along the way. And that means you're going to be earning a lot more as we're going along. Okay, so let me show you now what happens if you start to add extra rented referrals along the way and follow the particular pattern then that I am suggesting. So you're starting off then with at least 3 rented referrals, and they are all 3 of them are extended for 240 days. At that point, then this is what your daily earnings are going to be, and that is your own ad clicks plus the amount that you'll earn of commission from your 3 rented referrals. Now just remember that the amount that you're going to get from your rented referrals does vary. So, you know, this is not, you know, it's not exact, but it's a good estimate. Okay. So, so basically you're going to start off then, and you're going to be earning a whole 0.096. So not quite 10 cents. At that point, and you're going to be earning that each day. So you need to just keep going, keep earning, and what happens? What people usually do is they get to this point, they get 60 cents in their account, and they rent another 3 rented referrals, and this is where they go wrong. Okay, so what you want to do instead is just to keep going. And be patient. Keep going, keep going, keep going until you have at least $4.14 in your account again. And at that point, then you can rent another 3 referrals. Now, as I said, I have done the calculations here. So at that point, you should have around $4.22 in your account. And that means then that there's a little 8p extra there that you don't need to use for renting. But at this point then you have 6 rented referrals, and your daily earning then increases to about 31 cents per day. So you're going to continue then earning. Continue doing your ad clicks. Remember, you're not recycling anything, and the amounts are sort of taken into account the fact that some of your rented referrals are going to be inactive. But you're going to keep going and then wait until you get to $4.14 again and rent another 3. So you're then going to have 9 rented referrals, and you've got a little bit extra again. It's 0.07. So, you know, just ignore that for now. So keep going, and then you're going to get back up to over $4.14. You're going to rent 3, and this time you've got 12. So basically, you're just going to continue on in this pattern, and you can see that there's a small amount sort of extra at the end of each time that you're recycling, or sorry, that you're renting. But what I want you to see as well is the amount of time that it takes for you to earn the $4.14 is getting quicker and quicker and quicker. So, you know, this is the amount of days that it's taking at this stage, whereas whenever you first started, it took quite a long time. Look at all those days that it took. So it took quite a long time to get down to here, but now it's speeded up quite a lot. And it continues then getting faster and faster and faster. So, you know, it's the amount of time that it takes in between you adding another 3 rented referrals is getting closer and closer and closer until you get to the point where here you could actually rent another 3 referrals here because you have enough money in your account. However, you can only rent extra referrals once per week on Neobux. So this means then you have to wait until the next day, and then you can add another 3. But look what happens, because you've got extra money in your account, then you've now got an extra 73 cents that's added over to the side here. And the same thing happens then every single week from this point on, because you're going to have more money in your account by the time, you know, by the end of the week than you need to actually rent. Now this is starting to see profits here. So these are profit amounts that you've got. And it continues on, and I have done this right the way down, and you know, I have done all the calculations, as you can see, for the amounts that I provided before. And by the time you get to the end of your 240 days, you're going to have 63 rented referrals, and you will also have an extra $38.47 available as profits. So this means that you have created your account. You've created a profitable account by the time you get to about here, because okay, it's only a very small amount of profit, but you are actually getting profit all the way along here. So at the end of your cycle, at the end of the 240 days, then you will have made, as I said, roughly about $38 in profit, and you also have 63 rented referrals in your account. Now remember, you have a free account at this stage, and you also then have 63 rented referrals. Now you have various options at this point. It's entirely up to you. You could, if you want to, simply stop and, you know, and see this as your absolute complete profit. You might decide, you know, that's enough of that. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm going to take out my profit and run. So you could do that. And but what usually happens is, because for the past 240 days, what you've been doing is actually building a business. You're building a business in which you're going to be getting daily income from. So what usually happens then is that you can continue on, you can keep exactly the 63 rented referrals, and let's imagine that you just keep them then for another 240 days. By the time you've got 63 rented referrals, you will be earning $1.35 for each day. So I've just put in there $1.35 each day, and you're going to do that for 240 days. You're going to be earning that for 240 days again. So at that stage, then you are going to earn an extra $324. Now it's starting to look a little bit more interesting. I mean, it's still not a massive amount. However, there's various ways that you can increase this, which I'm going to talk about in a second. So that's your gross profit, basically. That's the amount that you will have earned back from 63 rented referrals, for all earning you $1.35 per day. However, because you need to actually extend your rented referrals, so you've got 63 rented referrals that you also need to pay then to extend for another 240 days. And that cost is going to be a total of $74.34. Now you don't need to pay that all at once, because the only thing that you need to start with is you need to start and pay your extended costs for the first 3. So you're paying at this stage just under the $4. I didn't do the calculations for that actually. But at that stage you're just paying, I think it's just about $3 and I can't do the maths in my head. But say around $3.80 roughly. And so that's the amount that you have to pay out, maybe from this amount. And in fact, let me do that. Let me do the calculations instead of trying to guess. So that is $1.18 multiplied by 3. There we go. So it's going to cost you $3.54 to extend your first rented referrals. And that's the cost then that you've got each time your rented referrals start to expire. So you want to extend them again for another 240 days each time. And as long as you're not trying to increase the number of rented referrals that you've got, then this is your costs in total, and you will have made a profit of $249.66. Now usually what people do is they simply continue on building their account. You're going to keep building up the number of rented referrals that you've got. And I highly recommend that you simply stick to this very simple pattern, and you just keep going, keep your free account, keep going until you have the maximum number of rented referrals that you can have from a free account is 300 on Neobux. So if you keep going and just literally keep following this pattern, like every week, just add another 3 rented referrals, extend them for 240 days straight away, make sure that you've got your $4.14 in your account before you actually rent any referrals, and then you are just going to keep building your account. Now, if you keep building your account and you get to the point where you do have 300 rented referrals, let's do the calculations for this one then. So you're going to get each day, you're going to get your earnings from your own daily clicks, which is still the same, plus you're going to get the amount from your rented referrals. So we said that was an average of 0.02 per rented referral, and you've got 300 rented referrals. So the amount then that you are going to be earning at that point is $6.03 per day. For, once you've got to 300 rented referrals, then that's the amount that you're going to be earning each day. Of course, if you keep those rented referrals then for another, say, 240 days, so that equals this multiplied by 240 days. Now, with 300 rented referrals, you're earning $1,448 for 240 days worth of your rental period. Now, you will have, of course, your costs for your 300 rented referrals, which is 300 multiplied by $1.18. So your costs then are $354 at that point. But, you've made a profit of over $1,000 in that 24 or 240 day period. So you can see here exactly how a Neobux account can actually build up to create a very, very good income. And I believe, in fact, let me check and see. I always get mixed up about where it is. I think it's down here. I'll just check and see what the maximum number of rented referrals is that you can have. So yeah, so as you can increase your membership levels. So if you go up to a golden membership, which costs I think it's $80, and you can actually get that at a reduced rate as well. Then you can have 2,000 rented referrals. If you go up to Diamond, then it's 3,000. If you go up to Ultimate, then it's 4,000 rented referrals that you can have in your account. So let's go back over and do some more calculations. So if you have 4,000, no, let's go for the golden membership, 2,000 rented referrals, and you are still earning exactly the same from your own ad clicks. So that's this amount, plus you're earning this per rented referral on average. Oops, forgot to put my brackets in. Multiplied by 2,000 rented referrals. So at that stage, then you could be earning $40 per day if you have 2,000 rented referrals, based on those figures that I put in, which as I said are reasonably accurate, reasonably realistic. So you could be earning $40 per day at that point, and of course then for 240 days that equals, multiplied by 240 days, that equals $9,608. Now you do have your extending costs, of course. So this time you have 2,000 multiplied by $1.18. So this time your costs are just over $2,000. But in this example, then you're making $7,000 pure profit from just having a Neobux account and continuing just to do exactly as I showed you there until you have 2,000 rented referrals. Now you will also have then the membership cost, which is $80. So yeah, you still have quite a lot. Let's take this away. So we have this minus the cost for the rendered referrals minus the cost for your membership, and your total earnings then for your 240 days becomes $7,168.64. That's pretty good. Think about the fact that all you're doing every single day is clicking on the ads that started off earning you 0.036. So every single day, that's the only thing that you're doing. But what you've done is simply adding rented referrals to your account. You're not doing any recycling. You're not doing anything else. You're just allowing the system to do it for you. And yeah, that is how to build a profitable Neobux account. I'm just going to remind you now that obviously there are absolutely no guarantees whatsoever regarding the income level. You know, what I've done is provided an example which I have tried my best to be as realistic as possible. However, you know, the amount of variation from using rented referrals is huge. So, you know, it's completely impossible for me to say you know, that this earning is guaranteed, and I have to say for legal reasons that there are no guarantees at all. So you know, do take that into consideration, but as I said, I have tried to be as realistic as possible, and actually there are a few extra costs. I'm just thinking now that like for the golden membership, for example, there'd be a slightly higher referral cost, but you also then in turn get extra earnings from that as well. So, you know, there are a few variations from what I have provided in the video. You know, I've tried to keep it as simple as possible, but also be as accurate as I can. So, as I said, there's no guarantees at all, but hopefully that has explained to you how to create a profitable Neobux account, and I truly hope that you have found this useful. If you have, do remember to just give me a little like and maybe subscribe to the channel, and of course feel free to share the video with other people as well. Okay, so that's it from me for this video. It has been quite long, I know, but there's been quite a lot of information there, so I hope you've enjoyed it. And I hope to see you in another video. So take care, happy earning as always. Bye!